So after 21 years, I'd finally broken the curse of the fear of that maybe I was crazy. Because after 8 or 9 days of living normally, I could finally sleep and I could carry on living normally now for the rest of my life. I'd finally broken that curse and it felt amazing. And what was I going to do now with my life? Well, I wanted to, I had some catching up to do. Some serious catching up, but I just wanted to be successful for the first time, and I wanted to make some really good money. I also wanted to settle down and get married. I was 42 by then, and I just wanted to do that. So I took a holiday in Indonesia and then came back and I just threw everything into it. I found this property, this old house, which was just above the shopping center, an hour and a half south of the city, actually where I'd grown up, and I converted it into a modern state-of-the-art clinic where I could practice, and I just worked and put my heart and soul into it and treated patients every day and just got busier and busier and busier until I was at full capacity, and I just got more and more successful and started making really good money, and then started adding onto the practice as well. Still making time for friends, as much time as I could for friends, but just really sort of living and really, really concentrating on being successful for the next 6 or 7 years. And also early on during this time, I also found out about that guru that I'd spoken about in the last episode, that Indian guru. And because a friend of mine had a bit of a weird experience with him, and I'd heard some rumors. So I researched on the internet and found this YouTube documentary, a BBC documentary, which had me convinced after about an hour of watching this that this guy was actually a monster. He had been molesting young children in his spare time. Even though a lot of miracles had happened in his name, I realized that even with the miracle that that 5 hours of healing that had happened with me, had that all happened because I had the belief in him, so was it all just the brain? Was there no external higher power? Was it all just happening in the brain? Was that possible? And so I went through this long period where I was semi-agnostic again, even though I did actually break my ribs when surfing the one time, and that healed within seconds. So I knew that this could all still happen in my body, but was it all just the brain that had just become powerful? Because this guy wasn't who he said he was. He wasn't this spiritual, powerful guru. He was actually just a magician and a child molester, basically. So I thought, well, it could have just been my brain. And I spoke to friends about it, and they said, well, no, it's possible that it was just God coming through in the version of him. But I thought, well, yeah, but how do you know for certain? So anyway, with this agnosticism, that kind of helped with the practice as well, because, I just wanted to get as busy as possible and do as well as possible, and also get people better, so that my name would spread, and, so the clinic would get busier, and eventually I was full to capacity. And then I started adding onto the clinic and renting out rooms to other practitioners, and started doing really well. I bought myself a sports car at one stage. That didn't last very long. Living in that area, you don't want to be driving around in a sports car. So I sold that, but then I eventually met someone really nice, and we started dating for about 2 years. And but something just started feeling wrong. Something started feeling hollow, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I thought maybe it was her, and I just couldn't work it out. Like on weekends, I just started feeling more and more hollow, and I started battling to get out of bed in the mornings, and there was just something wrong, and I just couldn't put my finger on it until something really, really big happened. And I'm going to tell you what happened in the next episode. So look forward to seeing you then.